of union government. And Delhi is not specifically as state, and Arvind Kejriwal ji is demanding for that. So that is the status that has been given, constitutionally decided, right? And moves could be there, movements could be there, and if required and agreed, it could be given statehood also. But that is a matter of future. Yet it is not there and is working as national capital territory, right?
Delhi and national capital territory, these two are different territories, right?
Pardon?
National capital territory, NCR.
By 69th Amendment Act in 1991, 239 AA and AB have been included in the Constitution, wherein the arrangement for national capital territory has been made. That is within union territory. Right? So we are having two divisions of territory of India, state and UT. In UP, the UPs are there and the Delhi is there, given a special status of NCT.
Could you throw some light on UP's Ghar Wapas program that's going on, like in regards of sovereignty of India as a country?
UP Ghar Wapas Lauto Abhiyan matlab?
So that's something.
I suppose that is for the conversion. That is for the conversion. Basically that call has been given in biased perspective. Look, when I have said I have given you my thinking and the recognized thinking of the scholars, okay, it should not be forced, and I have the right to decide the fate of my conscience. The interpretation is this also, that one may not live with any religion, that is his conscience. One can think of living scientifically and does not believe in philosophy of any religion. Let it be decided by them. Ghar Wapas Lauto is the call, those who have been converted, who got themselves converted voluntarily later on. Now the call is there to, आपका भाई कहीं दिल्ली चला जाता, आप तो चाहते हैं कि भाई मेरे पास आके रहो. So that emotion is there, and basically that is related to conversion.
Sir, is there any provision to adopt two religions at one time?
Again, that is your faith. What I have said, Constitution does not assign anything that you have to do this, you cannot do this regarding religion. It says, 25 specifically says that every person has the right to decide one's faith, belief and worship of one's own conscience. The term conscience requires to be understood specifically. मतलब आप चाहते हैं तो आप अपनी इच्छा से अपना धर्म रखें. अब एक साथ दो रखना थोड़ा कठिन है. Unusual.
What about the personal law? Differently, like there is personal law.
Do you know what is personal law? Yes, that is related to uniform civil code. Right? So that is not related to any conversion or anything sort of religion. For that reason, Supreme Court has a special ruling that if one is from one religion, until unless specifically he has been divorced by the process of judiciary, he will not be, he may convert his religion, but will not be entitled for the facilities of the government. It has been adopted. It has been specifically ruled by the Supreme Court. आप कुछ पूछो?
Yes, sir. Sir, before in the conversion thing, there were many Muslim families that already had Hindu identity cards. So is it not illegal? And
अच्छा, let me know one thing. If some administrative flaw is there, will you consider on the basis of the constitutional provisions? It's not. What you are saying might be some administrative flaw. They were having that. They might be wrong. They are not exactly tested through the government records. Then how could that be claimed? That could be used only till it is not caught. Otherwise, will be excluded. One of the problems that is, as we as India and Nepal are having friendship treaty, so lot of people are there who are living in India having Indian citizenship, are living in Nepal, they are having Nepal citizenship. But one of the provision in Citizenship Act of India is that at one point of time one cannot retain two citizenships, and as soon as voluntarily even one attains citizenship of any other country, from that point of time the Indian citizenship will automatically be terminated. Now if you are not caught, you can avail the facility. जिस दिन पकड़े जाएंगे तो हिसाब किताब हो जाएगा, right?
Regarding Delhi statehood, what would be the demerits of giving full statehood to Delhi? Because there has been a long battle.
One of the things that I could put, in Delhi, even the president is resigning, right? And all the union ministers, all those. Now, if it is given statehood, the law and order will come in the hands of state. And the CM of one state does not have anything much for the concern of union government. Then what shall be done? If there is another arrangement for the safety security of these VIPs, then there will be clash between the two because they have to work out at one place. Then what shall be done? And those may be a big issue. Right? For that is also one of the administrative conditions that could be there. Otherwise, a lot of political reasons are there for which we should not be much concerned.
So these VIPs and VVIPs travel across the country,
and
they don't have much problem regarding.
But the larger time they remain in Delhi. Larger time. But other thing is, the dignitaries are also there visiting Delhi. Right? So the movement of the VVIPs, as it is there in Delhi, that is not exactly in Uttar Pradesh or say Lucknow or Patna or somewhere else. So that concern is there. And the other thing, when this is also one of the administrative relation between center and state, that law and order is the part of state government. So whenever the VVIPs visit there, then it becomes their responsibility specifically number one, and the guards, the security of the VVIPs travel there first, identify the security condition, then the permission is, say approval is there for their visit. So part of those security concerns are there, and for that, yet that has not done.
So this is something off topic. What is the requirement of a bicameral legislature, like in India? Like why is there an upper house and a lower house?
So why do you want to know about the requirement? What is the requirement? Why do you want to know that? What are those?
Yeah, why are those here?
So these are again, why bicameral system is there may have some logics, but for the reason of rule of law, condition and constitution we are having. Let me go there. Okay. For the conditions we are having the constitution, so we should go through the evolved laws. What are those? Why are they? Are little difficult to analyze exactly, right? And is less relevant. We are having two legislatures, two camel system, bicameral system, that is in Sansad, that is Parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Right? Important thing that we are having bicameral system. One of them is upper house, that is Rajya Sabha. It is known as representative of state government in the union government. States in the union government. So that is basically the election of the representatives in Rajya Sabha is made through the elected people of Vidhan Sabha of the states. So thereby, when the central government is working for whole country and its development, the central representatives, those MPs are there in Lok Sabha are there, and the MPs in Rajya Sabha are also there, participating the requirement of the state and then passing the bill. That is the relevance of having bicameral system. One of them is.
And can the Prime Minister be from the Rajya Sabha?
Yes. The Prime Minister needs to be member of Parliament. He may be from Rajya Sabha, he may be from Lok Sabha.
And so there are some states which also have bicameral legislature and some which don't.
Which?
Which also have bicameral.
Which? Some states.
Some states.
Only 5 states are there. 6 states are there which are having bicameral legislature with legislative council. Apart from those, all of them are unicameral. Only legislative assemblies are.
Sir, India is a secular state.
Please believe.
But there is reservation on the basis of religion. So how legal is that?
On the basis of religion, there is no reservation. How do you say that? That is minority.
Yes,
But there is difference. No. There is difference between region-based reservation and minority. Minority means the less representation in the proportion of the major population. And that is not only based upon, say, religion. Because in Jammu and Kashmir, the Brahmins have been put in minority.
But sir, isn't it, it should be there for all minority religions?
No, that should be is political move. That should be is a political move. And reservation is given on the basis of a philosophy. One of the condition and fundamental right and objective of the Indian state of India is to bring equality among all. Now those who have been downtrodden since years of history, they need to be given certain support so that they could upbring themselves. And then only the final equality could be reached, and the philosophy is that. It has become question session instead of, it is nice, let me know.
Sir, is there a limited number of ordinances that a government can pass in a financial?
No, that is the thing that I was willing to come over here. Thank you for putting this question in the auditorium. And now I have opportunity to discuss it. Look, ordinance is a special mechanism that has been given to the executive. Now, executives are having sole responsibility to implement the laws proposed in the constitution, and the president and governors have this right. The president has this right in 123 article, and the governors have this right in 230 article in the constitution. But this can be issued only when the parliament or legislature is not in session. Right? And in this regard, if you go through the papers, just 2 days back, Pranab Mukherjee Mahamahim has put this concern specifically that the use of ordinance should not be made a practice. It should only be as exceptional condition. Only in exceptional condition the ordinances could be there. In this regard, I will cite one history. Since 67 to 81 in Bihar, one ordinance had been issued for 256 times. And this got challenged in Vadhwa case in Supreme Court. And thereafter Supreme Court has put it specifically, as Pranab Mukherjee sir has put it, that the ordinance should not be used as practice. Right? Now, the question arises that is quite relevant and current. Why do we need, what happened that the NDA government is using this mechanism? The condition is related to politics. In Rajya Sabha, Modi government does not have majority. On the basis of the ordinary bill conditions, any law can only be passed when the law or the bill is passed by both the houses separately. That is Article 107, ordinary bill. And as Modi government does not have majority in the Rajya Sabha, so the bill is bound to get done. It will not be possible for Modi ji to get it passed. And then when it goes in joint session, it will take time. For the reason of its election manifesto, promises made to Indians and outside India as well. When Modi ji was there in Washington, he had promised to the Indians and allies and the OCI cardholders that he will omit the differentiation amount. He had to, let me complete, he had to do this. But he does not have the majority in the Rajya Sabha, so he had to use the mechanism of ordinance. This is the condition. And is the reason that the government is using that. But constitutionally and by the ruling of the Supreme Court, it is the condition that it cannot be used the way it is being used by this government.
So when an ordinance is passed, the president approves it, but it has to come back to the house to be actually made into a law. And
Yes, but 6 weeks, but when the second house is in session, right, and Lok Sabha is suspended for the next meeting. Rajya Sabha is a permanent body, but Lok Sabha is a body that can be suspended, that is suspended.
So
there is difference between dissolve and suspension.
So when this ordinance comes back in the house,
it has to be passed within 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
But the government does not have majority in Rajya Sabha, so it will fail.
Rajya Sabha is there, so it does not pass refer it in Lok Sabha also, na?
ये मतलब joint session होगा then when the
joint session की बात करेंगे. तब तक में मोदी जी की कोशिश है कि झारखंड में ले लिया, उधर ले लिया तो कुछ और जगह कर ले, दिल्ली में भी कर ले, तब में आप हो जाए. That is the economics.
He's actually playing a gamble. I mean, if it's not sure that when the ordinance comes back,
what I would say, it's smart administration. Look, you have given me the opportunity to perform the task, and I have not been given the tools. But whatsoever tools are available, I'll be using them, because I cannot sit idle. I should not sit idle, because I have been given this responsibility. Right? And then in the limitation, within the framework of limitation only I can do. So, to the extent it is possible, he is trying to do, and simultaneously, he is also trying to have majority in Rajya Sabha by other process. The elections are there, and he is doing so. But another important thing apart from this politics is, if the country has pinned its faith in Modi in the previous election, he must do something. Because not doing anything is better than trying to do something right. Right? That way he should have this opportunity, although he must do everything within the framework of Constitution. And the ordinance should only be used in, say, a constitutional perspective. And Pranab Mukherjee, seizing the politician, and now President of India, has taken check over by saying what he has said 2 days back. Right? Anything more? In this regard? What is the process to appoint Rajya Sabha members in Parliament? At best, 12 members could be appointed maximum. Right? And the appointment is suggested by Council of Ministers of Union Government and Council of Ministers. Now, Cabinet is a small part of Council of Ministers, and the Constitution refers for approval of Council of Ministers. Only one place is there when Cabinet approval is required, that is for national emergency. So rather it is better to use the COI. And the selection will be on the basis of their achievement in the fields of art, culture, say, sports, so on.
Sir.
Okay? We have asked for nomination, no? The nomination is there not on the basis of the states. No. That is not, nominations are not based upon the states. Election is there based upon the state, and that is dependent upon population. That is the reason we are having Sikkim, Nagaland, Mizoram, one representative in Rajya Sabha. And Uttar Pradesh is having larger number of representation in Rajya Sabha, are not statistically updated. So that way, the reason is, as Uttar Pradesh has got larger population. So that is
Sir, if we talk about
Sir, in the forthcoming elections, if there is no absolute majority for any political party, will Delhi come under presidential rule again?
No. In this regard, the Constitution has given discretion. This is the function of either President in case of central government, or Governor in case of state government, or Lieutenant Governor as for the UTs, wherever the elected legislative assembly is there. Right? And that has not been exactly referred in the Constitution what shall be done. Now, that is the reason that all those heads of the state, either central state or union territory, they are to work on the advice of Council of Ministers, which is an elected one. Right? Because nobody can be minister and the part of Council of Ministers or cabinet if one is not the member of the house, respective house, or say legislature. Beyond 6 months, मतलब 6 महीने के लिए तो हो सकते हैं, 6 महीने से ज्यादा होना है तो उनको सदस्यता हासिल करनी पड़ेगी. So that is the condition, and then that is the discretionary condition and power given to President Governor or Lieutenant Governor to do so, and that has been done by Najib Jolly. He can decide for re-election also. He can go for a national government also. He can go for, say, what you said, President rule. And it has happened once in the central government also, when Janata Party government had declined. And there was absence of leadership in Janata Party government. And Chaudhry Charan Singh had been appointed as Prime Minister, and he did not face Parliament even once. So, what shall be the span of time within which the vote of confidence will be put and passed is not decided in the Constitution. So, it is the President or Governor gives the time within which the vote of confidence has to be done. So, that is the subjective condition. One specific answer is not.
Sir, if we talk about land acquisition ordinance, and suppose in this period government acquires some land from farmers, and after 6 weeks the ordinance does not pass in the house, so will that land acquired will be free from
till the ordinance is in prevalence, it bears the effectiveness of law till it is there. And when it is not passed or something sort of those political conditions are there, thereafter it will be decided. But till it is there in prevalence, it will work as law, and all those provisions that have been notified will work.
So there would be retrospective effect would not be there.
It depends upon whether the land acquisition ordinance has got that or not. It depends not. Like one of the conditions, that is basic structure in the Constitution, that could be evolved only through case 1 and Bharti case in 73. But the court said specifically that it will not have a retrospective effect. So thereafter, whatsoever laws have been passed after 73, they are having that implication. Right? So all of them are well designed. But if the law is there, if the ordinance is there, that bears the validity of a law and will be performed accordingly.
So whatever land you acquire before, right now, remains acquired even if the ordinance fails to pass in the houses.
I said it depends. Another political condition is, if the government is there in rule, it bears majority in Lok Sabha. And even if it goes in joint session, the bill will be passed for the reason of ordinary bill. And the condition is, if the Rajya Sabha does not pass the bill, then it will be referred to joint session. So that way, ultimately, we could decide whatsoever ordinance is there, if the Modi government